Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute. And today I'm going to teach you guys about the difference between moving away and moving towards and how that can totally change the course of your life. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the term NLP, but NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And every good coach has a pretty decent education in NLP. Otherwise, it's difficult to do the work at the level that we do it if you don't understand some of these fundamental concepts. One of the more fundamental concepts in NLP is metaprograms, right? And these are ways that people engage with their life, these overarching kind of modalities by which people interact. And of those metaprograms, one of the most important is the difference between moving toward and moving away. So a moving toward modality is someone who says, hey, I see that thing. I want that thing. I'm gonna go get that thing, right? They're moving towards the things that make their life better. They're moving towards the things that they want. The moving away from modality is people who say, oh, I don't want that. I'm gonna avoid that. Oh, that hurts. I don't wanna do that, right? And they're moving away from things that they don't want. Now, theoretically, people are like, oh, well, these are just two sides of the same coin. One person's moving towards what they want, one person's moving away from what they don't want. Hey, it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, actually it does, in a really, really major way. Because people who operate solely or primarily from the moving away from modality, they run into a whole series of obstacles that prevents them from reaching their full potential. So one of the aspects of this is that if you're only moving away from what you don't want, you're only going to take action if there's an immediate sense of pain, right? And so what that means is that you're gonna sit around and you're gonna stay in a situation until it hurts. And then it takes time to get out of it, and that whole time it's still hurting. Whereas somebody who's moving towards what they do want will move before they end up in that situation, before the pain is present. The second aspect of it, right, is that if somebody is only operating from moving away from something that they don't want, right, then if they have a dream, if they have a purpose, if they have a mission, if they have something that really, matters with them and resonates in their soul, right, which is what I help people find, right, then that will always go to the back burner because that's always moving towards something that they want. And there's always an infinite number of things that they can be moving away from or worrying about or whatever that they don't want. And those may be very little things. And then they're focused on moving away from these little things. And there's this giant, huge, life-altering thing that they're not moving towards, right? And I've seen this with clients and if you don't make that shift and you don't start operating from a moving towards, then it's impossible to access the level of fulfillment and purpose that I advocate for people. And then finally, the last component of the moving away from the moving towards that you really want to be conscious of is that if you're in a moving towards modality, you're looking for opportunity. If you're in a moving away from modality, you're looking for the things that are wrong. And so what I've seen is that you have some clients who they're so good at moving away, especially when they're armed with all the tools that I give them. They're so good at moving away from all these various things. They don't have anything that's really causing a real pain, but their brain is so used to scanning for problems that it's still scanning and it's still sitting there. And they're in this anxiety thing where, well, there's nothing that's really wrong, but I have the sense that there should be something wrong. I don't know. And they end up in this anxiety that has no basis in anything, right? Because they're so honed in on moving away from, and they haven't trained their brain to use the capacity to move towards. And so that's why one thing that I work with clients on is very important to, you don't necessarily want to never do moving away from. There are times where it's certainly valuable, but you need to build that moving towards modality. You need to have the ability to operate from that. You need to have the ability to get into that energy and go after what really matters for you. And you need to have the ability to turn off the moving away from when it's not needed and it's not serving you. So go ahead and ask yourself this week, spend some time, and maybe write it down in your journal every evening. How much time did you spend moving away from, and how much time did you spend moving towards, right? And if you find that it's really imbalanced towards moving away from, then start being vigilant about that and start reprogramming yourself. We call it neuro-linguistic programming for a reason. And you have the ability to reprogram yourself if you put some attention on it and you put some effort into it. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's something that resonated with you, maybe a new connection that you made or some information that shifted your perspective, if you found value here, then I want to give you one last gift. So I've put together a free diagnostic that I call a checkup with the career doctor. Short list of questions, and as you answer them, it's going to give you a readout of where you stand on the important metrics of career fulfillment, right? How happy are you with your job and how good a fit is it? Right? Financial success, which we all know, and then internal alignment, which is your level of inner peace and the inner resources that you have to bring to creating the life that you want. Additionally, it's also going to show you which areas you can improve on to get those metrics moving in the right direction, as well as how can we at the Oculus Institute help you make progress. So it's totally free, 100%. All you have to do is just go to www.oculusinstitute.com/purpose quiz, right? No spaces, no dashes, just oculusinstitute.com. That's OCULUSINSTITUTE.com/purpose quiz. And you can take it totally for free. You'll get a free report sent to you. And then at the end, it will give you some next steps of what you can do to reach out so that we can help you create the career of your dreams.